No, thank you, but I will manage myself.
Married women are the best organisers. Leave it to me.
No, there is but one married woman in the world who I could ever allow to invite what guests she pleased to Donwell.
Mrs. Weston, I suppose.
No, Mrs. Knightley. And until she is in being, I will manage matters myself.
Oh, yes. I could put that round the other way, but it's still short, isn't it? What have you got, Jane? Have you any others we can add to this here?
Miss Fairfax?
Oh, yes, that...
Oh, do let me try. I'm so hopeless
Yes,
at games. Mr. Knightley, will you help me?
Oh.
Blunder! Well done, Harriet. No, for shame.
I shall give it to her,
Where
shall
will
I?
we put this G? I have not got it in any.
No, you
Yes, Jane.
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
Huh?
I did not know that proper words were allowed. Oh, yes, Jane, let's go. I will call the carriages.
Well, I hope the invitations will arrive in time for the strawberry picnic. We are to leave at 6. No hope.
I'm so glad you told Mrs. Elton you would not need her help. She really is insufferable. And as for Mrs. Knightley, you will wonder who she may ever be.
Emma, may I ask what the great amusement, or rather the poignant sting, of the last word, Dixon, that was given to you and Miss Fairfax? It seemed to give you entertainment. It was very distressing to Jane.
I could tell you, but you would not approve and would call me a gossip.
Dear Emma, do you think that you perfectly understand the degree of acquaintance between the gentleman and the lady with whom you shared this joke?
Between Frank Churchill and Miss Fairfax? Of course, perfectly.
It's just that lately I have imagined that I saw a certain attachment, certain secret looks.
Secret looks? Goodness me, no. The joke was, I admit, a little indiscreet, but it was harmless. And I promise you, nothing to do with any kind of attachment between them. It is more that Miss Fairfax has an admirer, and Frank and I are trying to work out who it is. There. A childish pursuit we young people like to indulge in, I'm sure you would say. Mr. Knightley, I do not know why, but you do not like Frank Churchill. I am sorry for that, but it does not mean that you should start to imagine all sorts of things about him and his behaviour that are mere fancy. I know you are keen to protect me as an older brother would, and I know you think I should behave as I should, and I promise you, I would never do anything to truly injure Miss Fairfax ever again. But if Frank Churchill were in any way attached to Miss Fairfax, and I assure you he is not, and he would never...
But he would never share a little joke with you?
You surprise me. I have never known you so unjust. Or your judgment so inaccurate. Frank Churchill is an amiable young man. And I can vouch for his indifference to Miss Fairfax, believe me. Are you staying for supper? It is almost time.
Oh, no. Thank you, but I find the fire a little too warm for me tonight. I was thinking how at home you looked. You might be mistress of this house.
I blame you entirely. I cannot resist you from the very first day I met you.
We shouldn't be talking such nonsense in front of 7 silent people.
I'm going to leave this country just as soon as I can book a ticket.
Frank will be free. Though, of course, we're all very sad that Mrs. Churchill has died.
He will be able to marry. You know the Westons have always intended Emma.
I felt exhausted for so long. The greatest kindness you could do me would be to let me go.
Badly done, Emma.
I dare say she didn't understand.
I assure you she did. She has spoken of nothing else since.
Mr. Knightley is going to London.
This is a sudden idea, isn't it?
It is to be a substantial trip. Goodbye.
Don't forget, if you've missed any of the new BBC adaptation of Jane Austen's Emma so far, you can catch the series on the BBC iPlayer. A troublesome mission into Cardiff, comedy and high hopes on BBC One Wales in 20 minutes after the news next.